So this morning we will discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 60. Lord Krishna teaches Rukmini, text 44, which is on the board. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sainaskityam Navam Cheva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nastaveshu Yavatashu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavtinaistike Tasya Shuratshutanipa Bhavato Padishtam Tasya Shuratshutanipa Bhavato Padishtam Srinam Yeshu Kagova Pitala Vicham Yat Karanamulam Ankarsananopayaya Yusmat Katam Itavinshina Sabha Sukita Asya Shurasyutanipa Bhavato Padishta Enam Pesuka Gosvapidala Vichya Yat Karnamulam Ankarsananopayaya Yusman Katam Itavinsha Sabha Sugita Tasya Shurasutanipa Bhavato Padishta Srinam Sukha Gosvapidala Vichya Yat Karnamulam Ankarsananopayaya Yusmat Katam Itavinsha Sabha Sugita Yasya Swasyutanipa Bhavato Padishta Srinam Yeshuka Gosvapidala Vichya Yat Karmamulam Ankarsananopayaya Yusmat Katam Itavinsha Sabha Sugita Tasya Shurasyutanipa Bhavato Padishta Srinam Yesu Kagos Avilana Vish. Yat Karma Mulam Matkarsana Nupayayat. Yusman Kata Vitavisha Savasugi. What is this? Tasya Shurasya Tanipa Bhavatu Bhatishta. Eshu Kagos Avilana Vish. Yat Karma Mulam Matkarsana Nupayayat. Yusmat Kata Vitavisha Savasugi. Tasya Shivasya Tanipa Bhavatu Bhatishta. Srinam Keshakai Govindam Vidvijam. Yat Karma Mulam Atkarsana Nupapaya. Yusmat Kata Vitavisha Savasugi. But for translation, Tasya of her, Shu, let them become the husbands. Asyuta, O infallible Krishna, Nripaha, kings, Bhavata, by you, Upadishta, mentioned, Srina, of women, Yesu, in the homes, Kara, as asses, go, oxen, spa, dogs, Vidala, cats, Petya, and slaves, Yat, whose, Karna, of the ear, Mulam, the core, Hari, your enemies, Karsan, of you who vex, Na, Nebra, Upayayat, come near, Yusma, concerning you, Kata, discussions, Mrita, of Lord Shiva, Virinsha, and Lord Brahma, Subhasu, in the scholarly assemblies, Gita, some translation and purports by the disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings you named become the husband of a woman whose ears have never heard your glorious mouth. Again, that Queen Rukmini speaks it in an angry mood, Acharya saying. Say, O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings you named named become the husband of a woman whose ears has never heard your glories, which are sung in the assemblies of Shiva and Brahma. After all, in the households of such women, these kings live like asses, oxen, dogs, each. cats, and slaves. What does Queen Rukmini say here? Because before Krishna told her, "Why did you marry me? I took shelter in the ocean, afraid of my enemies. I don't have anything. Everything belongs to King Ugrasena. You had opportunity to marry kings like Sisupal." And now she's replying on that in an angry mood. She says, "These kings, they should marry wives who are never hearing your glories. And they are like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves." That's quite heavy. We will hear what that means, what she means. The purport. According to Srila Swami, these fiery words of Queen Rukmini are a response to Lord Krishna's opening statement found in text 10 of the chapter. The Supreme Lord said, "My dear princess, you were sought after by many kings as powerful as rulers of planets. They were all abundantly endowed with political influence, wealth, beauty, generosity, and physical strength." According to Sridhar Swami, Queen Rukmini here speaks with anger, pointing her index finger to the Lord. She compares the so-called great princes to asses because they carry many material burdens, to oxen because they are always distressed while performing their occupational duties, to dogs because their wives disrespect them, to cats because they are selfish and cruel, and to slaves because they are servile in family affairs. Such kings may appear desirable to a foolish woman who has not heard or understood the glories of Krishna. So what's the definition of a foolish woman? It's said here, those who have not heard or understood the glories of Sri Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti adds that such kings are like asses because their wives sometimes kick them like dogs because they behave inimically toward outsiders in order to protect their homes, and like cats because they eat remnants left by their wives. I read the verse again. Tasya Shurachutani Pavato Padishtam Srinam Vesukargo Swapitam Avityam Yat Karnamulam Ankatsananupajaya Yusmat Kata Vitavirinshis Sabasugita. It's sounds so sweet, this person, but she speaks in an angry mood. Interesting. O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings you named become the husband of a woman whose ears have never heard your glories, which are sung in the assemblies of Shiva and Brahma. After all, in the household of such women, these kings live like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves. Omagyanatimanasya chinanjalashanakam Shakshun militam yena tasmai shigurvenam Chichetayamanopistam staptam yena bhutani Swamvapgadam dadati Svadantikam Vandeham Shio Shiodapadkamam Shiom Vashamsa Shri Rupam Jagajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakalita Shivishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabanda Chatpati Gopesha Goka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindapaneshwe Vishwavana Sutta Devi Pranamama Eke Panka Kalpa Vishwan Kripa Sinvesha Nam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namanama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadara Shiva Sadio Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Tale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gopani Pachari Nirvishesha Sunyapati Bhaskachai Visata Srila Prabhupada. So yesterday, the verse of yesterday, we heard some of the wonderful qualities of Queen Rukmini. Does someone remember some of these qualities of yesterday? Yeah, humility. Yeah. Humility, yes. She was not putting herself in the center, but Krishna in the center. She was thinking less often of herself. She was thinking of Krishna and satisfying Krishna. Humility. And another quality, the verse yesterday, she was completely dependent on Krishna for this life and the next life. But at the same time, she was presenting herself as a conditioned soul, rotating to the cycle of birth and death. Although she surpassed liberation, you cannot be the wife of Lord Krishna without being liberated. There's no question that therefore we get here, and that is amazing in these verses. We are getting insight in the consciousness of this pure associate of Krishna. And it's not easy to understand. This is the 10th canto. These verses can be understood by those who have Ananya Bhakti, pure devotion. Otherwise, we get a glimpse, but difficult to understand. And like this verse today, that's a different verse. Sometimes, I know if you look at the news on the internet, they show videos and they give a warning. This video there may be violence or so that may affect you. This verse is similar. It is not a verse we speak to attract someone to Krishna consciousness. That will not go well. That will not go well. So it's a bit an advanced topic. Now we have Queen Rukmini. She's telling Krishna, yes, this Sisupal and all the other kings that are like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves. Of course, she is an expansion of Srimad Radharani. Srimad Radharani is also expansions in many expansions in Vaikuntha. Shintamani Pakarashatmasva Kalpavriksha Laksha Spitesa Surabhir Upa Layanta Lakshmi Sahasratsa. Thank you. Sahasra means many thousands of Lakshmis are serving the Lord of Vaikuntha. Expansions of Srimad Radharani. And also, Rukmini is an expansion of the goddess of fortune. We are in the 10th canto, but those who have gone to the 8th canto may remember that the goddess of fortune appearing from the churning of the milk ocean. And then after she appeared, all these great demons and all these demigods, they wanted her as their wife. But goddess of fortune said, yes, there's a problem with all of you. You have all faults. And nice guys, but you have still a fault. And she wanted a perfect husband. So only Vishnu could be a husband. So here, that Queen Rukmini is making the same points because she's Lakshmi. She only wants Vishnu as her husband. And she points out here, they are not steady. That yes, they are there for some time, till they lose their body in the next battle. Not steady. And they are interesting, like asses, because they are obedient to their wives. Interesting. That's a sensitive topic. Should the sannyasi speak on it? Is obedient to their wives. So yes, because, and she explains this further. They are like dogs because they carry out orders with a desire for a mouthful of food. Yeah, I must say, so to all the men here, I'm sorry, that's what it says. The verse that with a desire for a mouthful of food. The love of a man goes for his woman, for his wife goes to the stomach. Then that's a proverb in Dutch, they say. That you have heard of? Yeah. No? That you love your wife because she gives you nice food. Chapatis and all this. And yeah, that's sure. Many times as sannyasi are invited in fun and nice food. They are like cats because they take the leftovers of their wives. And they are like servants because they wait for orders. So there's the nature of a woman also. The husband must be handpacked, must be under their control. And that's what she says. They are all under the control of their wives. These women have no, but why is that? Then she speaks about these women who have married all these great queens, these great kings, like Sisupal and all the others, that these women have no hearing of topics of Krishna. You remember yesterday what was the result of hearing topics of Krishna? That we quote the verse of the 6 Goswamis. What was the result? Remembering Krishna, and by remembering Krishna, what was the result? They understood, I'm not Krishna, that I'm not in control, it's Krishna. And then you become humble. Yes. But these women, they have no hearing of topics of Krishna. And what's the result? They have little intelligence. That's also a sensitive topic. Little women with little intelligence. But what is meant here? That are women less intelligent than men? Very sensitive topic. Well, if you look at the university, the results of the women are mostly better than the men. This is not that kind of intelligence that's meant here. It's a different intelligence. Different IQ. You have the IQ of materialistic people, that and the IQ of spiritual advanced people. The IQ of spiritual advanced people means an intelligence that is giving us detachment from worldly things and attachment to Krishna. That's transcendental intelligence. Now we see mostly if you have the body of a woman, then yeah, children come mostly, and by nature it is so that the woman becomes very attached to the children. That's nature's way. And it's difficult. It's difficult to cut that attachment. Because we see the body between, you have the body of a man and the body of a woman. We see the gross body, but the gross body, to the process of transmigration of the soul, the gross body is built upon the subtle body. The subtle body. So the subtle body of a man and a woman, they are different. And that's pointed out in the Bhagavatam. The story with Kashyapa Muni and Diti. Very interesting story. Not to go in detail there, but it seems that it's more difficult for women to separate emotions from intellectual discrimination, to separate it. That's more easy for a man. Therefore, it becomes more difficult for a woman to become detached. But someone asked Prabhupada, Mataji asked Prabhupada, I'm a Mataji, I'm a woman. It's difficult for me to make spiritual advancement. Prabhupada said, if you think you are a woman, yes, it will be difficult. So we are also not this subtle body. And by the process of devotional service, it's so potent that the subtle body becomes purified. And we see here that Queen Rukmini has a very sharp spiritual intelligence. That we have the example of Queen Rukmini here, and also we have the example in the 8th chapter of the first canto, that Queen Kunti, very spiritual advanced. So it doesn't depend on your body to make spiritual advancement. No. But what's the key for making spiritual advancement is hearing about Krishna, sufficient hearing about Krishna. Then you will become attached to Krishna. And you become detached from matter. And then these things will not be there anymore. This acting like dogs, horse, camels, and then oxen, dogs, cats, slaves. So she said, yes, all the other queens, they are not like Krishna. All the other kings, they are not like Krishna. Krishna is sweetness personified. But all the others, they are devoid of good qualities. They are wicked. They are like animals depending on women. If you think you are a man, then good luck. That identity of a man becoming the slave of a woman, and most men, this won't are like that. They are all like animals trying to exploit the bodies of women. May also vice versa, of course. That's because she speaks also about the women. Women who has not heard topics of the Lord will choose persons like that, whom they can control. So we see many times young girls in our culture, Western culture, maybe culture is not the right name, but anyway, something Western, 90, 20 years old, they would like to choose persons like that to marry with. Yes, someone who is rich, someone who has power. That see many times young girls, and they want a man who is handsome, who is a little older, mostly, who has a good position, can protect them, and and they think because they have power and happiness that I will get happy and get power. But such thinking is due to a lack of Krishna consciousness, not hearing the topics about Krishna. Because what happens, they are if they marry such a powerful and wealthy man, they become completely disempowered spiritually. And finding no happiness. That's always the result. It's a manogatam. It's an idea in the mind. And this is, what is their mentality of such people? Namam pamata koti vikarma. That's a verse of King Rishabhadev to his sons. He says, when a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activities. Because he engages only for the happiness of his senses. He wants to enjoy. He wants to become the proprietor. This is sinful. Everything belongs to Krishna. And everything is for his enjoyment. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he had already received a body, which is although temporary, is the cause of misery. So one thinks only the moment. I want to marry such a man or such a woman, and I want to be happy now. But one does not see. It makes one's blind. Love makes blind, they say, that kind of love. That they don't think about, why do I get his body? Why am I suffering? And what will be my future? No thoughts, only the moment of enjoyment. But we went all to millions of lives, and we were wives and husbands for millions. And now we are attached to our family. But what if your attachment to your family in your previous life, and the life before, and the life before? No concern anymore? So someone devotees, I get a lot of contact with suffering devotees who write me, my father or mother is in their last moment. Please pray for them. It's good to pray for them, for their spiritual advancement. But what with your parents in previous life and the life before and life before? Are you still concerned with it? Only the moment now, my parents. But do you still pray for them? So yes, this is the bewilderment. But one hears about Krishna, he becomes attracted to Krishna. You see bewilderment. Bewilderment is, yes, we get all certain capabilities, nice, talents. We are using them for what? For temporary enjoyment in this world. No, that's not the reason why Krishna gave you these capabilities. Krishna gave you the capabilities to use them in his service. That's why you got them. And Brahma also once became bewildered by that. He's the most intelligent person in the universe, 4 heads. And he wanted to play a trick on Krishna. So, and Krishna was thinking, oh, Brahma, he wants to use his ability, his intellectual ability, which is enormous. He wants to use it to play a trick on me. So Krishna decided to play a trick on Brahma. So that is what happens. That Krishna plays a trick on us. If we want if we want to play a trick on him, and that so that is, of course, Krishna does always different things at the same time. So Brahma wanted to play a trick on Krishna, and Krishna used the circumstances to expand himself in many gopas. And for 1 year, yeah, of course, we know then after that, Krishna, when Brahma had taken away all these cowherd boys and put them in a cave, Krishna expanded himself in so many cowherd boys and went with them back to the village. But there were all expansions of the gopas, exactly like they were before. But the mothers became very much attracted to them. That much more attracted than before, because it was Krishna. They didn't know, but it was in the form of their son. It was Krishna. Because they desired to give motherly love to Krishna. And therefore Krishna arranged for that. Very beautiful. And during that year, Krishna said to his Nanda Maharaj, maybe it's time to marry all these gopis. That and Nanda Maharaj arranged for marriage that year with all these gopas, which were expansions of Krishna. So they all married Krishna. But so that is the difference. Rukmini, that's what she wants, the sweet, loving reciprocation of Krishna. And that's what the devotees in Vrindavan want. Devotees in Vrindavan, they want this bhakti ras, this sweet mellow in relationship with Krishna. That this sweet mellow, or this spiritual emotions experienced in relationship with Krishna, is the greatest ecstasy. And that's different from what these temporary kings here want to experience. Their happiness is bhoga, tyag, chapala, sukha. It's mostly the happiness is short, so-called happiness, and then a lot of renunciation. Like people work very hard from Monday till Friday. That renunciation, they have to work, and then the weekend comes, they are going to enjoy it. But then it's so quick. It's when you enjoy, time is going quick, and it's Monday again. So it's Bhoga, Tyag, and Chapala Sukha. It's flickering. We want to get pleasure from eating. That those who are really after pleasure in eating, yeah, they know the eating is Chapala Sukha. Eating, it doesn't take long. And then later the problem comes again, the hunger comes. But it's not intelligent to go for this temporary happiness, Queen Rukmini said. You should go for what is eternal happiness. And Lord King Rishabhadev tells his sons, you must do tapo divyam, divine austerities of devotion service, to attain eternal bliss, eternal. This bhakti ras, if you have a relationship with Krishna, it never diminishes. It's always relishable. There is no renunciation. It never stops, no interruptions. And it is pure bliss. But to understand this, one needs transcendental intelligence. Because that loving feeling between Krishna and his devotees is the highest pleasure one can get. So Krishna is all attractive. So those who are attracted to mundane things, they become attracted to wealth and power. That's illusion. So one thing is, the illusion is, when as a young girl I marry such a powerful man, I will become free from all fear. But we see powerful men, they are always in anxiety. I remember Srila Prabhupada visited was Indira Gandhi, and at that time the president of India. And they had to go to many guards and checks, and then he came to Indira Gandhi, and Indira Gandhi said, I'm afraid they will kill me. Always in anxiety. That you see also, especially all over the world, is important politicians, so many security men is there. Always in anxiety. So they are the most powerful persons, have the most risk to be attacked. So powerful, it means is meaningless in this world. It's like saying to someone, oh, I give you 1 million euro, you can have it for 1 second. Oh, it's past, I'm sorry. It is the same thing. We are in this body. We are ready to get out of this body. When you are out of this body, that it's all no meaning anymore. Therefore, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, a self-realized person, gold or pebbles is the same. It's matter. And it doesn't matter so much unless we use it in Krishna service. The powerful is meaningless. And the same with wealth. Wealth, very temporary. So we should not be like, because it's mentioned in the purport here of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He gives a few details, especially also Shiva Goswami. I will read their comments. So in 2 verses, she condemns with anger, showing her finger, the kings whom Krishna praised. So she's angry. She expresses anger. But that's a sign of compassion also with all this, with all those who are living just for sense gratification. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who lives only for the pleasure of the senses lives in vain for nothing. When Srila Prabhupada arrived, I think in Los Angeles, and he saw old men playing with balls, he became angry and said, why are they wasting their time? They can cultivate higher consciousness, spiritual consciousness. They are just wasting their time. So that's the same with Queen Rukmini said. They are wasting their time that with these so-called attractions and flickering happiness. And why is that? They don't hear about Krishna. So that's a great lesson for us. Queen Rukmini, Krishna performs these pastimes. He performs these pastimes to teach us. He knew we would be here together in Radhadesh today. He's performing them for us, that so that we can understand the qualities of a pure devotee. A pure devotee has no interest in the flickering happiness of this world. And she will go on in the next verse, which is even more heavy than this verse, that it helps us to come out of illusion. So she says they are like donkeys to be kicked with the foot, or oxen who suffer with heavy loads on their back. They are like dogs who are kept to protect the house and think of intruders as enemies. They are like cats who eat the leftovers, like servants they must humbly serve. Let such men become the husband of low women who never hear topics of you. O destroyer of the enemies, you pull my enemies like Shishupal to the kingdom of death. So the only result is of the Shishupal, we will vanquish. And yeah, live for nothing. Of course, Shishupal is a special case, you will see. That, so, are we hearing every day the topics of Lord Krishna? Prabhupada established a morning program in which we every morning hear about the Bhagavatam. Should do that every day. Because it's essential to make spiritual advancement, hearing the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita every day. Without that nourishment, our faith will become weak. That otherwise it becomes sentiment. We offer our food to Krishna. Krishna becomes a prasadam machine. No, we must also hear about Krishna. That's the nourishment of the soul. That unless we hear sufficiently, there is no scope of making an advancement. That our faith will be sentimental and very, sentimental. Prabhupada explains that in the 9th chapter of the Gita, that also in another place, that religion without knowledge of philosophy is sentimentalism. That sometimes fanaticism. We must understand what we are doing. This is a deep knowledge, and this knowledge is not easy to understand. We are in the 10th camp. That's of the level that only really can be understood by liberated souls. But still, that may be true, but Queen Rukmini is teaching us here. Shiva Goswami comments, O Lord, you alone are steady in all times and place, Atyuta. So the other day come and go. That though others may have reflection of your qualities, no one can compare to you because they are not steady. They have great fault. Kinkara means a person who waits for an order saying, I will serve you. That is the derivation of the word according to Shiraswami. The kings are like asses because though beaten, they are still obedient to their wives. The ass is also beaten, but then is happy to give this carrot, the promise. They are like oxen because they carry loads. They are like horses because they sometimes carry their wives. They are like dogs because they carry out orders with a desire for a mouthful of food. That because the wife takes nicely care of me, does all my things, therefore I'm the servant. That they are like cats because they take the leftovers of their wives. They are like servants because they wait for orders. In such a woman's ears, your topics have never gone at all as a subject matter of attention. They never hear about Krishna. These topics are not at all attracted to these women because they have very little intelligence. So you must have spiritual intelligence to take up the hearing of Krishna. When Bhagavad Gita in 7th chapter says, you must have performed pious deeds in previous lives. And that to be able to take up devotional service with determination, that so spiritual IQ is required. How do we get spiritual IQ? Krishna says, Tesham Satayuknam Vitsamkritu Petipurukam Dadami Buddhyotam Yena Mama Vyantite. Krishna says, when you serve me with a little love, Dadami, I give Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi, intelligence, Yoga, spiritual intelligence. Tesham Evanakam Gatamam Akyana Chamtamam Nasi Chamam Mavastu Kyanam Jnana Dipana Vashvata. With the Jnana Dipani, with the lamp of spiritual knowledge, I enter your heart and I burn away all this lust, anger, greed, and so on, which are the causes of your body concept of life. You become purified. Okay, last comment, short comment by Sanatana Goswami. He summarizes very nicely. O Asyuta, you are filled with the sweetness of extraordinary glories. Others are devoid of any good qualities and are wicked. That is shown. So she says, yes, only those who are hearing about you and become your devotees, they have good qualities. Because the quality of the soul becomes manifested in such persons. The eternal qualities. We may have many so-called good material qualities, but they are not good because they are temporary. You lose them. But the eternal qualities which come manifest by the performance of devotional service, especially in hearing about Krishna, you get them for eternity. So they are like animals in houses dependent on women whose ears have not come near topics of human. Plural is used to show respect or to include the devotees. Of course, yes. The relationship with husband and wife in Krishna consciousness is not this, it's different. That in Krishna consciousness, husband and wife, they cooperate together to mutually advance in Krishna consciousness. That's very beautiful. This is a spiritual ashram. But she's speaking not about the spiritual ashram, but about mundane man. Because the line between is very thin. You have to be very careful in our family life to put always Krishna in the center, not ourselves or our false selves, thinking ourselves the bodies. Good. My time is over. Any question or comments?
Thank you very much for your wonderful words. Thank you very much. You spoke about women and their kids, their children. That's very that women are very attached to their children, probably more than men. And so for them, it's very difficult to detach from their children. When Kunti in your prayers, she asked the same to Krishna. Such an elevated soul, Queen Kunti. And she told Krishna, please, the nuts of her, cut off the nuts with my family, with us. So it's difficult even for her. Can you use practical tips how to cut off in our materialize the nuts without kids? What's meant by getting detached?
Queen Kunti, she's Prabhupada explains, she's not praying to take away the finer sentiments of affection for her sons, which were saintly sons and Pandavas, but she's praying for cutting the skin disease. The skin disease means my attachment, thinking they are my sons. They are not Krishna's sons. That's a temporary thing. They are eternal servants of Krishna. And that's a different vision. And Queen Kunti is most elevated, most liberated. But she says that for our sake. That so in our relationship, usually, you have both a material side and a spirit side. And we must spiritualize our relationship by seeing our children as Krishna's children. Krishna has given me the task to educate them in Krishna consciousness. And that's what that means. The mother's goal, the first goal, that very responsible service, and the most difficult one. You know, I have also children that I know it's difficult, impossible task. We do our best for Krishna, and Krishna sees that we are doing our best. That and see them in that right way. But that seeing should not remain philosophical or theoretical. It should be practical. If you really start to see like that, you will become more detached even in the relationship with your children. You become attached to them because of Krishna. That it's a challenge. Right. Good. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Rukmini ki,